I was having an interesting conversation with an IT director around AI and Salesforce, and something she said is totally worth understanding for all of us. She mentioned that the biggest challenge with AI is the last mile. Even if you have it in Salesforce, even if you find some compelling use cases, even if you get like Microsoft Copilot, Salesforce Copilot, GPT-5, whatever you get, but the challenge of last mile continues to remain. And here is a parallel I will draw, and I hope it makes sense. So if you think back to the 90s and 2000s when MP3 players were just coming out and iPod was in the process of getting innovated at Apple, something very interesting happened. A lot of MP3 players at that time were not that great. They were not that great because miniature hard disk was not invented yet. So you could either get something that's going to be big and clunky because they were trying to jam in a full hard disk, which was great. You could have 6 gigs of songs, but it was terrible to carry and it would eat a lot of batteries. So very inefficient way of doing it. The other challenge was at that time, it was really hard to synchronize songs. There was no good Windows or Mac client that you could use to manage songs. The third part of this was the interface itself was clunky. There was plastic buttons, not very black and a grayscale LCD panel, just not very well put together. So there were a whole host of problems that Apple solved. And it all happened when they found a Japanese company that had started making miniature hard disks. And those miniature hard disks would pack a lot of capacity, which means you could not dramatically reduce the size of MP3 player. And the rest is history, obviously. Apple did an incredible job because Steve Jobs always started with the customer experience. We are at that miniature hard disk stage with AI today. AI models are coming out. A lot of them are interesting, compelling, can solve real world problems. And you see a whole bunch of vendors trying to wrap them and create solutions. So whether you look at Microsoft Copilot, Salesforce's AI Cloud, or GPT-5 and other such solutions, the idea of all of them is to try and figure out an optimal customer experience for the end user of your Salesforce, your Outlook, Microsoft, whatever, right? And also to figure out valid use cases, which can legitimately offer some efficiencies, some effectiveness, some joy of usage. And that is where we are today. A lot of organizations that are looking at AI and running it like some sort of a technology project or a technology POC are completely missing the point. The deal here is to build that iPod. You don't have to do it alone, but the deal here is that you want your end users to really find something that they can use. The more you grind on the end user experience, the more you sweat on compelling use cases and trying to put them together and orchestrate, the more value you will drive out of it. And if data is a potential bottleneck, then go solve the data problem. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to get enamored by this siren of get more data infrastructure, focus on this more expensive technology and buy like massive amount of AI and get into all the complexity. That is the noise today. Every large company that I can think of is willing to go out and spend stupid amount of money, but they don't have a clue about the user experience. They haven't really thought deeply about it. They're just thinking of it as some sort of a technology problem to solve. And that would be the number one reason why a lot of these technologies would not get adopted. That's actually a problem with CRMs, with ERPs, with all these work softwares that companies spend billions of dollars on. They're all market leaders, but they suck at fundamental things that your end user is trying to do. A sales rep, a service rep, and a finance person, an HR person, an operations person, they're all having a really hard time with all these softwares that are world leading. Look at the user experiences. Just trying to do basic, simple things, trying to create one quote or two quote line items for a subscription product is just really hard to do out of the box with some of these tools. And that is the same problem that is going to contaminate your journey to AI. If you're not going to be invested in it emotionally, if you're not going to be committed to really solving it for your end user, this is a project that will get screwed up. I guarantee you in the next 12 to 18 or 24 months, we will see companies that are going to abandon it. They're going to call this shitty. It was not ready for prime time. They will blame it on everybody except themselves. And the bottom line is you can keep on writing large checks to huge vendors all day long that you want, and that's not going to get you anywhere. What I'm finding is some of these companies that we are working with, the ones that have a really high chance of success are the ones where the person, the champion on the customer side for us, they are invested. they're really paying attention. They use AI in their day-to-day life. They are going to become the experts on that product, on that capability, on that AI. They are the people who understand the difference between a good wine and a tuba chuck. That's what you need in AI. People who have nuance, people who have taste, people who have the business intelligence and logic. I'm sorry if it sounds like a rant, but it is remarkable that the more customers I talk to, the more I'm finding the ones where I could literally bet which of them are going to succeed and which are not. And guess what? A lot of them are very large companies, extremely well funded. My God, they're going to blow money like nobody's business. Unfortunately, it's the same mistake we have made over the last 20 years. That's at least how long I've been in the industry. Very curious to hear what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this rant. Definitely comment if you have some ideas around what else is happening, how can we improve or change things. Let me know. Thank you so much.